Hello and bienvenue to Life's Questions and Lessons, the 5-minute self-reflection podcast. I am your host, Charity Youngblood, and I am so grateful that you are here with me today. Let's get started with today's question. What are the barriers you experience when you try to rest for clarity? What are the barriers you experience when you try to rest for clarity? So we are in full swing of our rest series, and we're really going over all the different types of rest. So today we're focused on rest for clarity. And what I found in the work that I do, whether I'm putting on a workshop or I'm mentoring or just having conversations with friends, is there's a lot of barriers that some of us are either aware of or we're not aware of, but we really have to understand, one, what those barriers are, and two, why we have them. Sometimes we look for a solution to something. Like, for example, if I was presenting you with a question that was like, okay, well, how can you rest for clarity? And you have a particular idea in mind, you might go straight to that idea without really asking yourself the questions of like, well, what has prevented me from doing that thing that I wanted to do? So kind of taking a little bit of a different path with this, but I've noticed that if we don't start with the barriers, it's going to be very hard to overcome whatever the challenge is. So as you're exploring this question in whatever way works best for you, one of the things that really helped me understand what the barriers are is from guided journaling. So I will literally write out, okay, what are some of the things that almost prevent me from resting for clarity? And of course, you can definitely start kind of a little bit backwards or a few steps back, either way, with your own definition of rest, right? Figuring out what that is and your own definition of clarity. So for me, a lot of the barriers that I experience are time related. I do not like spending a lot of time doing things that I don't want to do. Like, I don't even some of the things that I do want to do, I don't like spending a lot of time. Like, if it can take me 5 minutes, great. If it takes me an hour, I'm like, So already I know that that is a barrier because of doing this work as much as I do, right? When I think of resting for clarity, one of the ways that I actually do this is through a mindful walk. So I'm sure you've heard me talk about this on the podcast before. I will walk without headphones and kind of just take this, a question like this for a walk. But a barrier to even that, so I know what the activity is, but a barrier to that is if it's raining, if it's not cute outside, I'm like, So it's really important to just kind of get to the point of you're not judging yourself, you're not shaming yourself on what steps in the way or what barriers in our case are in the way. It's to become aware of them. And the next step is to go, okay, I know this is the barrier, so what am I going to do about it? Because I still want to rest for clarity. So if it's ugly outside, what are my other options, right? So hopefully that's helpful. And my real goal with this podcast is to get you to start thinking differently and also exploring some of the things that maybe you've come up against, so you can shift your mindset and see, oh, okay, there's another solution that I've never really thought about before. So as always, thank you so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast wherever you are listening to my words. And if this episode has been helpful for you, please share it. We are here on this planet to help each other. So if it was helpful, please pass it along. And until next time, take care.